It's Susan. Welcome to another show. I hope everyone's doing well today. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me. We've got some wonderful people here. G87, Judith, greetings from the Netherlands. Ellie 42. Let's see, who else do we have? Stacy is here. Hi, JC, Terry, good morning. Shady Booty. Okay. Another name I can't say. Hello. So today we are talking about the friend zone. Now, I want you to know, I do listen. This was a suggestion from one of you in the comments section on the last show that I did on No Contact. So I'm here doing the things that you want me to do. So I really do look forward to your input every week. So this is very exciting for me. Now, here's what I want you to know about friend zone. 98.5% of the time, it will not culminate in a loving, committed relationship that is romantic. And I'm telling you that for a reason, because so many of you get stuck in the friend zone and you are actually functioning as what I call a lover in waiting. It is a tenuous, difficult, agonizing, excruciating place to stay while you're just close enough to observe the person you adore. Worse yet, maybe even be the shoulder that they lean on when they tell you about the horrible dates they've been having, and you sit in agony listening to this thinking, I'm the one for you, I love you, and they don't you see me? And they don't see you. So let's talk about what creates friend zone in your mind. Let's correct that. Let's at least have you functioning from something that's going to be workable. And if you're in the friend zone and don't know how to get out, write me. You can send me something in Super Chat. I will be reading all these as I go through. I'll be getting as many as I can. Remember, everyone, I catch them on the fly. I don't know what I'm getting into until I start reading it. So I want to go over what friend zone is. In case you don't know what friend zone is where you accept the only position you are offered in somebody's life, which is that as a friend. You would like to be the romantic leading man or leading lady. Or friend zone was created because you didn't step up. Because some of you, and guys, this would go more for you, I think, than women, but we all need to show interest. We have to give a sign of interest. Friend zone could also be for those of you who didn't give the green light and you just kind of mill about and kind of like hang out and don't make your position known because you're so afraid that they're going to reject you. So you don't make your position known. So what do? They reject you because they don't even know that you like them. So friend zone is kind of sometimes a place where you get stuck when you're kind of creeping up to get to know them, but you don't have the courage to actually make a play or make it be known. So I have the cure for that. Of course, I got the cure for it. But before we go into that, let me just remind you what the protocol is and how we do this. We have about an hour. I start the first 15 or 20 minutes directly responding to everything for today's discussion, which is on being stuck in the friend zone and how you can escape that. And then I move on to general questions that you may have. And if you really want me to see it, put it in Super Chat. That way for sure I'll see it. If I happen to miss your question in Super Chat, I review it at the end. When this shows up on my page as feed, I will hit you up on the very first comment in cap letters, and I will answer your question, okay? Because sometimes they come very quickly. Where are my glasses now? I want to say hi to everybody. So, hello, okay. Excellent expanded definition of friend zone. Yes, Omar. Many times we don't know how to make our move. So we just kind of sidle up to somebody to get the feeling of what we're up against. It's an assessment, right? But the problem is that if you stay in that position way too long, you confuse the other person while you're gathering information. And they don't know where to make a move, okay? They don't know. I understand that our dominant fear in all of this dating and relationship stuff is that nobody wants to be denied the right to be seen as somebody desirable. None of us want to be rejected. And it is an uncomfortable and difficult thing to indicate to somebody that you like them, because you don't know that they're going to like you back, right? Okay, so we got a super chat here. $5. Rosanna D, thank you, my darling. She says, how to wait in the friend zone until they're mature enough for an older woman, younger man relationship. Okay, now that's a whole nother thing. I'm in New York City. You started the fire. Woo, you started the fire. Okay, I don't know. Let's take a couple scenarios, because I got to guess here, because I don't know the rest of your story. First of all, thank you so much for the $5, my darling. And if anybody can tell you about younger guys, it's me. But I want to know, are you already involved with somebody? If you're already involved with somebody and maybe he's been relegated to the occasional lover position and you'd like to move him up into a real committed relationship, then that's something that requires a discussion, and you have to treat him as such. If you are in a relationship with a younger man now, and he is simply overwhelmed by what he has to take on, it needs to be done in bite-sized elements. I don't know the age gap between you. I don't know where he is in his life. We need to understand, and this is more so for men than it is for women, but historically, we have all been preconditioned sociologically. We carry these templates and the weight of former programming on top of us. Most women carry the immense burden of being young and beautiful and attractive. It's just because if you didn't have that, you were never getting a partner. And men have carried the burden of having to be the provider and the protector. Now, with a younger man, chances are very slim. I don't know. I'm guessing he doesn't have a trust fund, doesn't have a private plane. I'm guessing he's starting out in life and has nowhere near what you do, because you've got another 5, 10, 15, 20 years that you had to run. So he could feel terrified and inadequate in a very kickback kind of a sociological way that has nothing to do with how he feels about you or loves you. It's just that he might be having a hard time figuring out how to be a man in this situation. I would really like to work with you privately, even on Magnifi by the minute. I'm not trying to hustle you guys for a session. Believe me, I got more than enough clients. I want to answer your question fully, and sometimes I can't with this. But if you find that you are waiting and waiting and waiting for somebody to be mature enough to enter a romantic relationship to your satisfaction, then you are wasting your time, okay? I used to sit down and wait for somebody to get it. I lost a lot of time in my life. The time we can't buy back. Nobody can buy that back. So see if it can be sorted out or move on. Okay. Oh my God, it's Makato. Okay, $5. Thank you. Hi, Susan. My ex-boyfriend dumped me by text. That was thoughtful. And he asked for friendship. That was cowardly. Okay. Is it immature? I told him no and cut all contact with him. No, it's not immature. Congratulations, my darling. That is self-esteem. I don't know what happened. And maybe for you, it seems like a callous move because it was very cut and dried. You're probably a very warm, empathic person. And this came because you just been slapped too many times with not having strong boundaries. But I think you did the right thing. I really, truly, truly hate this let's be friends. Oh, I'm going to do a show on that. Believe me, I'm going to do a show just on that. Because that kind of manipulation is, okay, I know that I either did not fulfill the romantic requirements that I promised you, or that I sold you as a bill of goods that I never fulfilled. So that's not cool. But I like you well enough to be your friend. Now, remember, my philosophy is until you are no longer sexually and emotionally attracted to them, you cannot afford to be their friend. You can't have triggers going off. You are either going to be a friend where you're really comfortable or you're not. So I think you did the right thing, and trust that you did the right thing for yourself. Okay, let's see. I'm going to get to some more of these. Jennifer, I think Jennifer is talking to somebody. If you stay friends, you still have a soft spot for them, which will make you miss out on a great man. Don't waste your time. Our clock is one that's ticking, not men hugs. Yeah, okay, friend zone. If you're a woman and you're young and your end goal is to be married and have a family, or to have a family, and no matter how you construct that, there is a fact that has to be acknowledged. You can't dawdle. You have to start, once you've dated enough men or women to know what you want and to be able to kind of narrow it down, and you've had a taste of what's out there, then it's time to get more serious in your filtering process, because you want to connect with people that are like-minded, because honestly, guys, that eliminates like 90% of the problems you're having. Haven't you noticed in all of our discussions, in all of my videos, you want somebody who doesn't quite want you the way you want them. You can't quite get them to get up to speed. You're not getting what you want. That's all it ever is. I don't care what banner it's under. I don't care how many titles I put on. I've got about 500 videos now. Doesn't matter what it is. Do they want me? I don't know where I stand with this person. I'm trying to get it right. I'm writing you because I'm hoping it's going to work. I'm thinking it's not going to work, and I'm really hoping it does. So here's what we're doing today. We're trying to figure out how to not friend zone yourself. Like-minded is so crucial. Shady booty, thank you for that. So you guys know why you get stuck in friend zone, right? Let me break this down for you. There are two things going on. There is the fear of losing your only access to this person. It's like one of those passes that you get for going to a football game or something. My guy buddy George got me an all access pass. I know nothing about sports, so I didn't know what that meant. I could go anywhere I wanted. But you want an all access pass to your partner's life, right? You don't want to be excluded to just certain areas. So what happens is, as a friend, sometimes you get access to this person that you wouldn't if they actually knew you were aiming for them romantically. So you assume, because hope lives eternal, you assume that the more time they spend with me, the more they understand me, the more they see me. I'll pretend I'm the friend and I'll just stay there, because once they get to know me, they'll start to realize they have feelings for me. Okay? So now I'm going to have to talk some basic facts, but first I'm going to get to J.C. Ziffer, because we got to talk about attraction, chemistry, and stuff like that. Hello, Susan. Shout out from New York City. Me too. You can see my hair is a little curly today. JC, it is humid. I've got all the lights on me and my hair is going woo, 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 like that. Here's a bit of controversial question. Okay, what if the friend zone doesn't truly exist, but only in one's mind? Okay, now you got me. I want to understand this. I'm trying to figure out. The friend zone is in one's mind, as in your mind. I don't understand what you mean. The friend zone is in your mind. Friend zone is a default position to me. Explain to me what you mean, because I don't understand. And I thank you so much for the $10. But what if it's in one's mind? Okay, are you saying that you have taken a friend zone position because in your mind you assume that's the only position available? I'm trying to follow you, and I do not know how to do that. And if you write to me, I will personally work with you on this, because I don't feel I gave you the right answer, because it's a little odd for me. You stumped me on this one, but because I have to know more information, okay? So write me, media@susanwinter.net. The rest of you, it's going to be trashed. I'm telling you, it's got to say subject line. I'll tell my staff, JC Ziffer, put that in the subject line. We will answer this in detail, because I got no idea if I've answered you correctly. You guys, I really want to answer you honestly, and I realize that you're limited when you do these super chats. But if I don't, I will find a way to communicate. You paid me. You deserve an answer that is absolutely correct. Okay? So, it wasn't one-sided relationship that my ex-boyfriend was benefiting from more. I had all these rules. All I asked for is if he can stick up for me when his past hookups bully me. Wow. Well, it sounds to me like there was a logical ending to this relationship. You know, we need to know that our partner is on our side. we need to know that we can lean back, and we need to know that they will protect us from outside people as we would do the same for them. Yeah, this is like not acceptable. So what would be the purpose of having a partner if they don't do those things? Why would you want a friend that isn't on your team? Okay, so let me go back to this, and this is an uncomfortable conversation that I have to have. Guys, you're going to get this in a minute. Women, you're not going to want to hear it, I know. But you know it's true because you do it to guys, right? Most times, a person is put into the friend zone because for that individual, they do not possess the kind of physical appearance that the person finds agreeable or exciting. So it's a matter of looks. It could be a matter of lack of ambition, but oftentimes it is simply as plain as how you look. Now, there are ways to override this. As we mature as people, we start to understand that it is a complete package. And the fortunate thing about being female is that I think this happens more for females than for men, but we have the ability, and you guys have heard me say this, to see a person that we're not initially attracted to. But the more we do have contact with them, and so this is the 15% that I told you can turn out. The more that we know them, the more that we see them, we find things to admire, we find things to like about them. We can find ourselves gradually becoming attracted to them in a romantic way that we did not expect. So that is where the hope lies. And I understand it goes both ways. We don't, I can't guarantee that it's always going to happen, but it can indeed happen. So, I remember I was in college and I liked a guy, and I didn't have the physicality that he liked. He just didn't like the body structure, and said it in a rather polite way, but he liked very tiny, petite women. And I'm not tiny or petite. So I didn't cut the mustard for him, and you take that seriously. But I mean, obviously we were like 21, 22. But I mean, I've been there where I've been rejected. I think we all have, because somebody wants a certain look or a certain physicality because they assume that's what attraction is. Those of you who are on this channel know that attraction is far deeper, that it can indeed be developed. And the best thing about this, all of you dating out there, develop an awesome personality, because personality can cut through whatever you lack in looks or height or weight or beauty. It's just, if you have a great personality, if you have charisma, if you have charm, if you have a sense of humor, you can really make up for a lot of things that people might initially be attracted to, that they don't see in you, that they discover are so exciting that they want to have access to you because of that, and they start to feel romantically toward you. Let me make sure that I have seen all of these. I just saw a super chat. I want to make sure that I got that. Ziffer, I got you. Okay, I got the thing by text. Let's see, do I have anything else here? Jenny a guy I like said he likes me, but he worded it as, I like you too, buddy. And a few days later, he likes a girl at his work, but doesn't want to get into a relationship yet. I don't know what to make of it. Move on. Just move on. Sweetie, this is too difficult. You guys, it's so simple that it's difficult. I know it's difficult. We keep trying to, in this time period, fit a square peg into a round hole. And we keep wondering what's wrong with us. If you keep getting interested in people that don't know how to step up, that don't have a skill set, if somebody calls me a buddy, I take that as a real cue, okay? If I like you romantically and you think of me as a buddy, it's not happening. And ladies, you know what it's like. You have a guy that's a wonderful friend, but he's not a friend because that was his original request. He was a friend because that was the only role that you gave him. I think sometimes we find very good friendships. I have wonderful men in my life, some of whom were romantic at one point. Then, in order to be a friend, for me, this is only my thing, It's Pavlovian. So once somebody has been with you, they think they can always go there. So you have to be very, very clear when you create the friendship. And I have rerouted these guys into a fabulous friendship where we help each other, we love each other. We love each other in the way that's appropriate and right. And I think that we will all find our own methodology for that. I want you all to keep an open mind and remember, I am just giving you the skeleton of some things that you can do. I want you all to begin to think, oh, you've heard me talk about love a la carte. You've heard me talk about love models. And I'm so, so, so excited. I'm presenting this to the entire world November 8th, to all these fabulous international psychologists and clinicians. But it is so true. I want you to take all the pieces in this material, in somebody else's material that you've read, that you like, put them all together and create the kind of meaningful partnerships that work for you. That is contingent upon clarity and dialogue. You need to let people know where you stand. You need to be clear and consistent in your actions so that you don't confuse people. And you need to figure out what you really want and how you would like to envision your connections. So that was a little bit off. Let me see if I can get this. This is, okay. Oh my God, it's Makato. $5. Okay, I told my ex-boyfriend by text, I think you and your ego would be good together. So you have a little bit of anger here, huh? Okay, so stop spanking him. You did it. Good for you. You stood up for yourself. You kind of beat him up because he didn't protect you, and I understand that. Don't create any more resentments here, or just let it go. You did a good job. Most of you will notice when you're making a correction. I worked with a lady the other day, and she had gone from having no boundaries and letting men really get their way with her to coming around and being like, I'm on the phone with you and you scare me already. And I'm not even involved with you. So I mean, you talk about direct and like punitive in her language. And I said, look, the pendulum has gone from here to here. That's normal. So, my dear, sometimes what we do, we have a certain behavior and a certain default, and we decide to make an earnest correction. And so we make that correction, and we go a little bit overboard. So the point is to come back to moderation, and congratulations. You wanted your boyfriend to protect you, and we have just learned that you are indeed capable of protecting yourself. Congratulations. Thank you for your contribution. Let me read what this is. $4.99. AB, I think that's just a present, and I thank you. Mwah. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of my YouTube family. If you have a question for me, let me know. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Ilzy. What do you do when a person you love breaks up with you, but truly wants you as a best friend once it passed? What is that about? Okay, I understand that. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you, but here's how you assess that. The person, they liked who you were. They like you. They enjoy your company. But for whatever reason, chemistry, sexually, where you're going in life, how your vision is together, whatever is going on, they don't view you as their romantic partner. Again, Susan's position is you need to ask yourself, how do I feel about that? Am I safe to be their friend? Would that be enjoyable, or would I be triggered? Because I never want you to take friend zone position. Oh, friend zone is even worse after you've been romantic. It's like, oh, hi, I didn't want you for the romance. Kind of dumped you, but like, let's be friends. So I'm going to friend zone you. And maybe you'll just live in hope that one day we'll get back together again. But maybe you'll write my term paper for me, or maybe you'll give me a loan, or maybe you'll take me to the airport because you're my friend, right? So we don't let that happen. That's abuse, all right? So let me go over some of these things. I want to tell you some steps that you can actually use to clarify and speak up if you are currently stuck in the friend zone. Any of you stuck in the friend zone? If you get stuck in the friend zone and you realize it, Your number one fear is that you are so terrified you're going to lose this person. You will lose all contact with them. You will have no shot of even being in their life if you let them know why you're really there. I feel that you are suffering more by hanging around with false intentions because you're not really there to be their friend. You will constantly be disappointed. You will constantly be hurt. You are going to hear about the people they dated. You are going to see them date people. You're going to hear them excited about going out. That is torment. Don't do it to yourself. So if you're ready to take the challenge and you clearly know you do not want to be a buddy, then I suggest trying this. 1, you speak up. You let them know, short, concise, elegant. You let them know that your feelings for them are greater than friendship. That's it. And you stop talking. You do this in a very elegant manner. I'm going to read some of what I have here. Okay. And this is from an article that I wrote, but it's pretty good writing, so why not? It says, speaking up. Speaking up and owning your truth is the hallmark of empowerment and confidence. Courage and conviction show you that you know yourself and have the internal strength to speak your mind without fear. You have nothing to lose, and you have everything to gain. If love is your goal, better to take the chance to attain it than to stand by sadly, mute and frustrated as you watch others date your friend. Use the monologue technique. Now, you all have heard me talk about the monologue technique. The monologue is a one-sided statement. What gives you tension and pressure is waiting for their response. We are not going to put them under the microscope. We are not going to make them uncomfortable. It's when I say you walk through a pub, you throw a dart and keep walking. This is the technique. You release all pressure for them to have to make a decision at that time. So here's how you make the admission of your feelings. You make it a statement of fact. The beauty of a statement of fact is that it's just pure information. Admitting your feelings is no different than saying the sky is blue. Okay, remember, you make it short. You boil your statement down to 3 or 4 definitive sentences. You get to the point and you shut up. And this is best done with telling them the why you care about them. And I'm just going off the top of my head here. You fancy Amanda. You say, Amanda, you and I have been friends. I've had a chance to get to know you over the time, and I really admire you. The more I watch you interact with people, you're bright, you're funny, you're kind. And I see you in the eyes of somebody that looks at you far beyond friendship. You're an astounding person. Just want you to know that. And you stop talking. You sandwiched it in there very carefully. They heard it. You change the subject and you let it go. They got the information. You don't bring it up again. And if they want to bite, they will. But you don't make them feel uncomfortable because there's nothing worse than being rejected. And you can't, what do you think too? Because I never, ever, ever, ever want you people to be asking, oh, do you love me? Do you like me? No. Don't ever do that. Just say how you feel. That's it. You have power over that, right? So that's how we do this. Do not play the sex card. What I mean by that is do not, when you're telling them this, and guys, this is especially for you, do not tell them, you know, you're so hot, you're so sexy, and you're so beautiful. No, that's not going to win her. That's creepy. She's already got you in friend zone. You can't do that. If you fancy somebody and you've been friend zoned, you can't then go on and tell them how hot they are. That's going to then be uncomfortable where they have to distance you. Okay, so you don't want that. They already feel that you're attracted to them. You've got to talk about the qualities that have made you feel that way beyond the physical. So the sex card is the weakest play here. Believe me. They know. If they really felt the same way, they would have made a move on you, or at least given you the green light. So you guys kind of follow me on that. Before I go any further, I just want to see if you have any questions for me. Agreed, a guy shouldn't love bomb from the get-go. That's true. Chica 43, I shouldn't have stated that I wanted a relationship as an ultimatum, but whatever, I don't think it would have changed much. You know, let's look at it this way. I would rather you bomb and fail than have you trapped in a position where you're constantly being tortured. Because remember, the beauty about humans is that we have hope. And it is the downfall of many romantic relationships that we believe, we hope that they will love us one day. And I had a woman write me on the community page, 21 years she's been friend zoned. 21 years, you guys. And she said, what do you think my chances are? Now, I know we're all going like, girl, but there's enough contact with this person. Here's the tricky thing, they let you in just enough that you think you're getting somewhere. You know, it could be that one day where they've had a couple glasses of wine too much and they call you up because they're bored and they let you in on secrets they've never told anybody. And you feel like, oh my God, I'm gaining ground. I'm winning here. This is something good that's happening. But it just means that they were in that mood. It doesn't mean that they want you. So if it's been 21 years, she asked me and I had to tell her, this is a pattern of behavior that's historical. I don't think it's going to change. Then the question is, why did you wait all this time and lock your hopes onto somebody? Because that's a whole nother question. Okay? But do you understand what I wrote about the friend zone? If you want to wait a while in friend zone to check out the turf, to get a feel for it, to be in their social group, that is oftentimes the way that young people, especially millennials, approach each other nowadays. They hang out in the friend group. They kind of see who the person is. That's good. They socialize with them. And then they let their feelings be known. But remember, there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. Okay? Another important thing that you need to know, you don't ask them how they feel about what you've said, and you don't ask them if they find you attractive. These are no, 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 no. You think you need to know that, you will know it. You don't ask it. That puts tons of pressure on them. So once you've made your statement that you care, that you see so much in them, you take a long beat, and then you switch subjects. It's on to the next. Now, you're going to say, okay, Susie, I got that. What comes next? Continue this friendship. See how it plays out. See if they look at you differently. See if they ask you to do things. See if they bring up that topic again. See if they want clarification, or see if they tell you, I like you too. I don't like you in that way. And then you make your decisions according to that. But waiting there mute is not the preferable choice. Now, let me get to what you guys want to say. Let's see. You guys are talking to each other, I think. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Now there are some. Okay. Thank you, Jenny. I totally agree. Lindsay, my ex broke up with me and said he really wanted to be my best friend. He said he was messed up and I deserve better. He was correct. I respect that, but now I feel like a Band-Aid when he talks about past lovers. My God, that's not the kind of friend you expected him to be, right? So you've given us enough information that I think we would all tell you to extract yourself. This is now uncomfortable. He couldn't be there for you the first time, so we don't let them. Being a friend does not mean that you're going to hear the stories about their romantic lives with others. God, just cut yourself and put salt in it. No reason to do that. That's self-abuse. You do not do that. If you want and you value this person truly, my dear, as a friend, tell him, well, figure out first, how would you want him to be a friend to you? Obviously, you don't want to hear about the other people. So what would it look like for you to have a valuable friendship with him? What would that mean? That if somebody needs something delivered, or you go to the hospital, or you're having a medical procedure and he shows up, or you have an emergency, or can he walk your dog if you stay late someplace? So figure out, for you to be his friend and for him to be a friend to you, what would that look like? Once you know what that would look like, figure out in your mind, is that something he can and will do? And if you think maybe he could do it, tell him, here's what I had in mind. Here's what I had in mind. By the way, because you dumped me, I'm not so keen on hearing about you with your exes, okay? Like, dude, just please have some sensitivity. Sometimes you have to smack them around a little bit, okay? Crystal Jen, narcissists and toxic types, hang on, let's see, always say they want to stay friends to keep you in their supply chain. That's all. Yes, okay. Let's talk about the unhealthy relationships where people want to keep you as their friend. That is serving them. Again, all of you. How do you feel about this? What is in here that's serving you? Do not be a victim to hope. I hope. If I stay longer, it's only been 6 months. I think she's just about done with this guy. Maybe he's going to get rid of her. I think they're just about to break up. And then I can make my move. Don't do it. You'll look so much more attractive if you walk away and just cease the contact. They'll be like, what happened to Stephanie? Where did John go? What happened? Right? No, you don't do that to yourself. Anything more that we have here? Avon, I really love this friend, but they told me they need space. They told me they would get back to me, but it's been quite a while. How do I move forward without thinking about him so much? Okay, so here's the hard part. When they don't give us resolution, we have to do it for ourselves. When they say, I'll get back to you, and they don't, that's code for, yeah, I don't want to, but I don't want to tell you because I don't want to look like a dick and I don't want to hurt you, so I'm just going to tell you that I don't know. So that's the stalling game, and that's very painful. So you need to do this in your mind and get clear that even though you like this person, today, this vibe, this energy, this whatever is not working. I strongly suggest you try a different approach. When something doesn't work, stop. Stop what doesn't work. Reassess the terrain. Look again. What would work? I keep doing this and pushing against the wall and it's not working. So, maybe I better stand back, reevaluate my strategy and try again. I think if you separate mentally from this person, or even if you haven't been in communication, say, yeah, I'm sorry, I think we could have been fabulous together. I wish you well. And you do the goodbye. Now suddenly you're not there. And you're not checking in and you're not liking social media and you're just kind of like, I'm off you. Not hateful, just I'm someplace else. Then what happens? They miss what they had. I'm not saying this is the right person. That's very childish. Real people that have real love and real potential to be in partnership are consistent. The ones who don't know, they're whimsical. They're just the ones we cut our teeth on while we learn everything else. Okay, let me read what else is here, everyone. Shavana, you are very right, Susan. Shavana, I love this show. We love you, Shavana. Aura, RC, you are gorgeous. Susan, are you single? Yes, I am single. I am so tired of people asking, do you know the first thing when you Google Susan Winter? The first thing is age. The second one is husband. I have been devoting myself to my work for the last few years, and I haven't even wanted to date. Now, I love, and I don't want to hide anything from anybody. I'm not trying to, but my personal life has been in every newspaper. My boyfriend and I used to go on camera together. They did articles more on him, like, why do you want to be with her? And you know what? I made a decision a long time ago that anyone in my life is going to be kept quiet. I don't want them being Mr. Winter. If somebody is with me, they didn't sign up to be a part of my social media campaign. I've seen people do that. Like, hi, I'm a relationship expert. Oh, look, here's my boyfriend. I don't want to do that. They have a life separate and apart from mine. So if I'm seeing somebody, you won't know. Am I single? As in not married? Absolutely, I am not married. Okay? I have not had a desire to be in partnership because I have, for the first time in my life, had time and energy to myself to think and to focus. I am a natural nurturer. Maybe you guys understand that. Maybe you kind of get that from my vibe. I will pour myself into a relationship and I don't want to get sidetracked. I've really needed to just get my feet grounded in this. And there are times that as a woman, you're very satisfied being with yourself. I like my life the way it is. Now, I'm not opposed, but I'm not voraciously looking. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. If anyone loves love, it's me. But there's a lot to be said for self-love too, and for taking care of yourself, especially if you've spent most of your life giving your time, energy, and emotional content to others. So I've been very fortunate to be able to work on things I love myself. I hope that answers your question, my dear. Jenny A, love that about you. Susan, even I don't want to get married or have children. Now, I didn't think I was going to say this, but when I was growing up, that was not an allowable choice. When I was a very, very, very young girl, and I'm telling you something very, very private now. Let's see, how many minutes are we into it? Oh, yeah. Nobody who wanted just the superficial stuff is still watching. So this is just for you that are still there. When I was very, very young, I made a concrete decision. I was in about first or second grade, before second grade, because I remember my first social lie. And I remember how I felt on the inside. I never knew that I had to hide my truth. And I remember talking to my neighbor. We were sitting on my dad's horse trailer. And she asked me how many kids I wanted. And I felt this terror inside my stomach because I knew in my heart, in my soul, I didn't want children. Not because I hated children, not because I hated animals or dogs or people. I knew in my reality, in that time period, that was a thing in and of itself. You didn't have women that had careers. You didn't have women that had larger aspirations. The only thing you could do was try to avoid it. That was it. So if you avoided marriage, you could not have children and be in this kind of thing where you could never get out. We didn't have the choices that so many of you have. So I had loving, committed relationships, of course. But I wanted to be free to do something. I know myself, and I think I knew myself when I was a kid. I knew that I would devote myself to my family to the exclusion of all else. I absolutely know that about myself. Would that have been a worthy goal? Yes. It would have been a very small impact. It would have been 2 or 3 people. That would have been it, right? In my head, I wanted something big. We didn't have that yet. You could be a movie star, an actress. There weren't a lot of things women could do. You could be the secretary. You could never be the boss. You could be the nurse. You could never be the doctor. It wasn't even in anyone's consciousness. So loving, committed relationships, yes. Committed partnerships, monogamy, rewarding relationships, yes. Marriage, for me, was something that was important if you have children, for stability. And so from that template, I made my decisions. I hope that answers your questions. Okay, I imagined my future, and I'm still not sure if it includes children, and I'm 32, shady booty. You know, Susan, I'm thinking of returning to my country, been separated for 6 months. Should I tell my wife in a way so she can reach out to try again? 2 kids, and I'm still madly in love with her. Oh, my darling. If you have not told your wife that you're madly in love with her, she needs to know. That's like vital information. So when we've had a committed partnership and things have gone awry, we have to let our partner know that we love them. You're not going to get closer by being distanced. So don't think you can do it that way. Okay, so really make your play, be all out, go all in, make this worth their while, and really think, what did you do wrong or what happened that didn't work in the relationship, and ask her, what do you need from me? And figure out for yourself, what do I need from her? How did this separation happen? I'm glad you asked that. Okay, late again. Hi, Susan. You have a great channel. Thank you for sharing. Really appreciate it. Love doesn't matter. Respect matters. Well, they're both good, right? Those relearning self-love to get their identity back. How do you do it while being socially restricted in lockdown? Charlie Rose, Put your bathrobe back on. That's the other Charlie Rose. Okay. You know, if you ever had self-love, now being restricted in COVID is the time that's going to come through. Look at, you don't have a lot of distractions, got nothing social going on. Now's the time to dig deep. I don't know where you're located. Many cities and countries are going back into quarantine, back into lockdown. It's 2020 sounded like such a great year, and it has been so horrible. But do everything you've ever wanted to do with yourself. Indulge yourself. Indulge yourself in learning a new language. Indulge in reconnecting with friends virtually. Indulge in all the things. Explore new things that you can do. And just that's, I think, you know, self-love is very, very hard to describe. For me, it has come with agreeing with the choices I've made to date. Because every choice that I've made brought me to the next place, that brought me to the next place. And if, as a whole, you are starting to like what you stand for and your contribution to this world and how you show up day in and day out, if you can start to like how you interact with people and participate, then that, I don't, self-love just sounds very far off to me, but I can tell you, agreeing with yourself, I think, is the key to all of it, so that you start to be on your own side. I hope that helps. Let me keep reading, everyone. Let's see. That's what I did. Susan, I supported my ex's career and he took me for a real ride. I have 2 amazing sons. It wasn't a waste of my life. Crystal, that is fabulous. You know, I never had that desire. I just never did. I used to have people try to talk me into this, and this to me is so horrible. I would have people tell me, Susan, you need to have kids. Who's going to take care of you when you're older? And you know what I thought? Good God, you want me to have children to burden them with my old age? I would want a child because I can't wait to see them grow. I would want a child because I would want to do my best to create a little being that had no limitations, whose mind was absolutely flourishing, that believed in themselves. You know when I actually thought I might want a child? When I had time and I thought that I was at a point that I was ready, when I'd done enough in my career to have gone, I finally took care of myself. Like 50s. And then I thought, you on a schoolyard in your 50s, you got to be kidding me. This poor kid, that's not fair either. But, you know, an investment in children, for those of you who want it, I think it is the most beautiful thing you could do. You're creating little souls. You're creating little human beings. I mean, that's brilliant. And I think that's absolutely wonderful. Let's see. I love you too. You're a ride, Shade Booty. You're a gem. Do you think it's wise to tell somebody you love them even if they don't feel the same? Spencer Ruffin. So if you know they don't feel the same, why do you need to tell them? It's normally to unburden yourself or to try to get to another position in the romantic game board. If you know that they don't see you romantically, I'm trying to figure out what the upside would be. I'm sure they know you care about them. Otherwise, you wouldn't have already sensed that they don't want you romantically. You probably made an attempt. I wouldn't bother. I'm sure they know. Okay, $10. All right, who is this? Mike McAndrews. Hello, Mike. Thank you for your $10. My roommate girlfriend just walked out on me. She's for her boss at a job she's only had for 3 weeks. We've known each other 10 years, dated 9 months. I have no idea what to do. I'm watching her self-destruct. Oh, Mike, I am so sorry for you. The first thing I would do is distance. I know there's a ton of stuff you want to talk about, but if she is your roommate, she and her boss, the new lover, have to find new accommodations for her. That's step one. in your self-protection so you can focus and figure out what you need to do next. If you are watching her self-destruct, maybe there's drugs and alcohol, maybe there is behavior that you've never seen before that's coming out of her. Whoever this boss is, she thinks that this person is going to take her someplace that she couldn't get to formerly. And that really worries me because it's kind of a conflict of power. And I'm not even sure that it's legal according to HR, but get yourself in therapy. If you can, get with a coach, either virtually or in person if you can do that, and try to find another accommodation for her. Even if she doesn't have money, I think it's the guy's job since she left you for him. But even if you have to move her things out and put them in boxes and pay a first and last month's rent just for your own security, if you have the ability to do it, I'd get her out of the house. Just get her out of the house. Put her someplace else, okay? If you want to work with me, just let me know, okay? I wish you well. God, tragic. Unbelievable. Okay, Russian name that I cannot say, 200. Thank you so much. Dear Susan, will you do live on Friends with Benefits? Why not? Do you want to do that next week, Friends with Benefits? Because what does that actually mean? Okay, that's next week, Friends with Benefits. All right, that is another holding position for most people. And it's kind of like not what it appears to be, right? So thank you for that. Okay, Elle and Zen Maiden, hello, my darling. She's here helping everyone. She's happily married. She knows exactly what to do. She got rid of somebody that wasn't working out. Don't be afraid to move on, people. And if they're really worth it, they'll come back and catch you. Okay. Friends with Benefits. NL, you like that? Nat, you like that? Great topic. Alba. Okay, it should be a great one. JC Ziffer. Yes, please. Chris. Jenny. Okay. Friends with Benefits. We have a definite agreement with that. Okay. Anybody else have anything else that they want to say on this topic or any other questions? So we do understand this holding position here of being a friend, a lover in waiting, that it's not good for any of you. Okay. And if you need to speak up about it, then do. Layla L. Susan, I often see ethically non-monogamous on online dating sites. To me, that sounds like you want to keep your options open. What do you think about that? Ethically non-monogamous. It's getting more and more complicated. However, it is getting, thankfully, a little more specific. Ethically non-monogamous. Pretty good. I think I would rather know the lay of the land to avoid or know what I'm getting into. Ethically non-monogamous, if it is done the way it should be done, means I don't do monogamy, but I'm ethically going to be honest and open with the people that I see. And I think that in all of these, between COVID and the unbelievable spike in STDs, everybody, you've got to ask yourself if it isn't a wise move to at least lock down sexual exclusivity. I know that these ethically non-monogamous people, that means that they're sleeping with a bunch of people and it's a crapshoot. Maybe they are very safe. That requires an in-depth discussion. I have seen a lot of misuse of terms. I have seen people use the term open relationship. And what they mean is, I date a lot of people. It's not really an open relationship. An open relationship is, I am planning on having a partnership with you, but we will agree to be open with other people, but it's a mutual agreement. So beware of people who are not using their terms properly. One of the big things that bothered me years ago, do you remember when there was the whole 50 Shades of Grey and all the BDSM and everybody was into BDSM and everybody was into this stuff? I had a friend, a fairly close friend, who was lifestyle dominant. I mean, seriously, lifestyle dominant. Big, muscular, pro bodybuilder, would scare you walking down the street. And his greatest fear was that he would pass, like die, like a bus would hit him in New York, and his mother would open his closet and see all this stuff in there. Because, anyway, you know, I learned so many things about BDSM that when people saw the movie, They weren't doing that stuff right. You don't just like pick up somebody at a bar and then start whipping them or doing things to them. There is a protocol for all of this. So if you see a term and it says something like looking for submissive, or polyamory or open, you need to question. You need to know the actual definition and understand that when people are using specific terms, with those specific terms come very specific ways of behavior. In the BDSM world, there are contracts. There is ongoing negotiation as to what's done. You don't just torture somebody, okay? And they're supposed to be cool with it. Additionally, if you're sober, right? That is another hallmark. You don't do this stuff high because you don't know where their point is, because you're not aware. People didn't talk about that. They're just like, oh, I'm going to do this because it's the style. No, you don't. So whatever you want to explore, go over the language first. It's just like, I'll ask somebody in a simple way, what do you mean by relationship? What do you mean by dating? I even ask guys out in Arizona, what do you mean by morning? Because the last kid that said, I'll be there in the morning, he said, I'll be there late morning, a gardener. I don't know why somehow it came to my mind to ask him, what do you mean by late morning? Because that was kind of indecisive. Late morning to a New Yorker means, I don't know, 10, 10:30, 11, right? He said, no, about 7 o'clock. I'm like, 7 o'clock? That's what I call early morning. So don't be afraid to ask, because if people are using terms properly, they are using them properly. Okay, let's see it. Okay, what are you talking about? My Shady Booty, my friend zone friend is on Tinder. Let's just say it didn't bode in his favor with me. Okay, any other questions? Okay, Alba Gill. Is it normal in the nowadays dating online to be dating someone, but they keep swiping while they're dating you before the exclusive talk? Yeah, unfortunately, there is, this is where things get a little messy. People will continue to date other people and expect that when you meet somebody and they're coming after you, we have to assume that they're probably sleeping with several other people, or at least on the hunt for several others. And it's kind of a sad state of affair, but that's where we stand nowadays. So until you have the exclusive talk, you don't really know. Now, please do understand, it's you, it's your relationship, it's your investigation of whether you think they're worth your time. So one of the questions you may ask is, I understand nowadays that people, see a number of people until they get exclusive. How many people are you currently dating? And if they don't tell you or they seem shocked by that question, they're hiding something. And if they are hiding something from day one, they're going to hide something when they're with you. If you know what you want, you set your rules, okay? I don't know why you all aren't starting 1 month trial periods. Like everybody gives you a 1 or 3. I mean, what is it? Apple Music gives you a 3-month trial period, for God's sake. I mean, why are we not trying out monogamy or sexual exclusivity for a month? You're never going to know if you like somebody, if you're dibbling with this one and dabbling with that one. You're never clear. It's like the people that tell me they can multitask. They never finish the jobs I pay them for. Everybody that claims, oh, I'm best multitasking, it's like, yeah, but you didn't do the 3 things over there. So remember, this is your dating life. I don't care what they write. You have the absolute commitment to yourself to have to say what you want and set the terms of engagement, okay? If you don't, you're going to take what they give you, and I don't want that to happen to you. Okay, one more time. I see this Mike McAndrews. She's collecting the rest of her things on Saturday. Yay, fantastic. And I'm lining up a roommate for November, December. Dude, this is fabulous. I'm not moving out. No, of course not. It's your place. What should I do about her moving forward? No contact? Be there for her inevitable crash? Okay. I don't know how long the two of you were together. I don't know even why you would be so gracious. I think you need to really figure this out. Are there underlying drug and alcohol problems? This does not seem like a normal reaction, like I just got a job and oh my God, I'm swept off my feet in 3 weeks by this boss. I don't understand where this is coming from. We can sometimes, with a long history of being with a partner, have a separation, a glitch. A lot of long-term relationships go through a temporary separation or breakup. But you will have to judge for yourself how long you wait. If you wait, I would go into no contact so you don't hear anything right now. Finish all the bills that you have to finish. Finish doing everything. And Nika is back. Don't trip over the wires, Nika. Come on, boo. Why come up? Oh, she wants to drink my water. Why do you want to drink my water? She wants to drink my water. Do you want to jump up? Do you? Okay, here we go. Sorry. Okay. All right. Nika only wants to drink my water. I don't know why. I would set a timetable. Do everything that you need to do. Be cordial, be polite, be diplomatic, but be very, very businesslike. If she wants to talk about things and her feelings, not now. She's in the midst of something and she's all in with this other person. There's nothing positive you're going to get out of this right now, Mike. Be there for her inevitable crash. If this were your wife, maybe out of loyalty. I don't know the nature of your relationship before. I don't know if it was always wonderful and she just went mad. I have no idea. That is a very, very generous position. My question is, what will it cost you to be there for her inevitable crash? Do not wait around. Don't. Start healing. Do everything you can to help yourself right now. Fill your spare time with friends, with activities. Just try to stay busy. Try to work on yourself. Try to move forward because you do not want to reconnect with where she is now. She's a mess because it broke in a harsh way. It's now going in some kind of a whirlpool, and she's got some real business to tend to because there's her addressing why she did this. There are whatever issues are happening within her, and then there's your reaction to it, okay? Do not wait terribly long at all to have any conversations. Get all the business out of the way first, and then suggest to her, for both of us, to move forward so you can clearly enter this relationship, and I can move forward. I suggest no contact, okay? Thank you again for your $10. Incredibly generous. Okay, anybody else here? JC, Ziffer, you have to fill your own cup first before you fill others' cups. Yes. Know the difference between red flags and green lights. Trust your instincts. Yes, David. Yes, yes. Cookie cutter girl. She has Nika pictures. I like that. Mike, thank you so much. You will hear from me again. My dear, absolutely. Chris Rose, my friend, was a textbook narcissist, had feelings for her, yet had to cut her out of my life. I get time heals all wounds, but how do I curb the obsessive thoughts about her? Okay, obsessive thoughts. Key to that, take them off the pedestal. If you're having obsessive thoughts, it's because you have locked them into your dream of what you think they are, or what you think there's going to be there. Remember the difference between the dream, that's a Susie term. The dream is what they inspired in you, that future scenario that you saw that made you lock onto them. That's why you're obsessed with them. Do you really think that that person is the only one that can give you that thing that you want? Because they're not. You've got to fall in love with the dream and get on board with that dream. And the right person will show up. It's the other way around. Okay? Who else here? Great question, Chris Rose. Let go of the obsession. I learned the hard way. Zen Maiden. Yes, tell them what you did. You reassessed carefully the person that you were holding on to. Realized they were not the person. They were slowing you down. The Zen Maiden is happily married. I cannot tell you guys how many people, I'm so thrilled. I don't even personally work with you, but I get notes, either DMs or my staff gets it, or we get it through media that you've found long-term love, that you're in a relationship, that you've just moved on, and I didn't even work with you. You've been watching the videos, and I'm so pleased to hear that. I'm really thrilled about that. Zen Maiden, thank you for making time out of your day to show up. you got what you want. You kind of, don't even need to be here anymore, but it was so beautiful. Let go of the obsession. I learned the hard way. A JC, does that even include letting go of those memories? No, but we reframe the memories. You have to have a win or you will never be able to let go. You take the memories and you look at them differently. The narrative is, yeah, I had that beautiful thing. I know what that feels like. I had that moment. We did that cool thing. That was the best date ever. And the mistake is that we lock that experience onto the one person. That's obsession. That one. Only them. Nobody else. I'll never have the best date ever. It's only them. You will have great dates. They'll be different. It's like, did you all only have one love? There's not just one love. There's not two loves. There's not 10 loves. There's as many loves as you want to have. If you find the one for you, fine. But if you have been refining and refining and refining, don't let any of that stop you. There's no cap on how we love, how much we love, or how much goodness can come to us. Okay, Susan, I feel so lost, like I'm literally drained to the core. I feel as if I'll never be able to love or trust again, like whomever I meet will deceive me in the end, no matter how happy I was at first. Elifnor, I think this is a far bigger discussion. Your comment is one that I read in most every video, at least one person who is truly decimated by the state of affairs of their love history. They had one person that in this experience of love has so let them down, so betrayed them, and so hurt them that the experience is so powerful, the PTSD remains, and they assume that everyone will do that, and that's all that exists. And listen, people, this is why sometimes you hear people such as myself and other coaches advocating for you to get out. If you keep having negative experiences and you keep dating people who are abusive or harmful or hurt you or betray you, you begin to think that is the reality. You need to take time, separate yourself from that person, do your inner work. Not all relationships are like that. Many of the people on this channel right now have found love and at one point felt the same way. It doesn't exist like that, but you got to fix that in your head. I strongly suggest that you get therapy. And listen, I don't know how it's working digitally, but many cities are open. But I do know that if you're having trouble and you're struggling, go to your local college because you don't want to pay a lot because if you've got insurance, use it, okay, and get help for this. If you don't have insurance, every college has graduate programs where these kids have to fulfill hours. You get somebody, and if you don't like that person, you go on to the next, and they need to work with people. And in times when I didn't, when I was really budgeting myself, I went to grad students, and they were wonderful because they were passionate. They weren't burnt out. I wasn't number 4 that afternoon, and all they want to do is go home. So you need to work with somebody, okay? So, Zen Maiden, don't lose yourself in the dream. Focus on what you want at every turn. What do you want? Bring yourself back to that. Perfect. Everybody, I think I'm going to close with that, Zen Maiden. You rock. Next week, by popular demand, Friends with Benefits. Prepare your commentary. Please, when I post it, I want you to give me your stories. I'll bring them on camera. You guys are wonderful. If you have time, at 4 o'clock Eastern, which is like some 40 minutes, 50 minutes from now, join me on Instagram Live. I'm working with Ken Reed, my LGBTQ dating and relationship guy down under, my Aussie buddy, and we're talking about how to get what you want. Like, what do you really, really, really want out of a relationship? So you can come to my Instagram page live for a whole nother discussion. That's Susan E. Winter on Instagram. If you get confused and you get lost, go look at the post under the community page or go to the profile page here on YouTube where you can see all the little icons and it'll take you right to YouTube, Instagram. So I'll be on Instagram Live in 50 minutes from now. Everyone, thank you, adore you. Thank you, all of you Super Chat contributors. Please, if you want to work with me, go to susanwinter.net, go to the consultation page. It'll show you how you can work with me by the minute or by the hour. If you guys are struggling and you need help, please check out Breakup Triage. It's probably free on Audible, or it's $1.99. 33 minutes of the best stuff I got to get over heartbreak, okay? It's really good. I wouldn't tell you that otherwise. So it's the synthesis of everything that I'm telling you here, okay? Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Thank you for the love. Mwah! Bye, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.